the live sessions. Okay, hi. Hi, Iguana. Hello, how was the long weekend? How was the holidays? Right. Hey, hello everyone. Right. Is there another live after this? Iguana, yes, we do have Teacher Yahweh's live after this. Okay, so you can stay tuned for more. And we have Teacher Mitsuko going live later as well, right at 5:30 p.m. Yes, yay. Teacher Mitsuko's live will be at 5:30 p.m. Hey there, how was your day going today? XNGZ, hi. I'm doing great. How about you? Right. Do the rest of you not have school today? Today is a Tuesday. Right. Today is April Fools. Right. Teacher Yahweh's live is directly after mine, Iguana. So you can just stay tuned after my live ends. Then you can join Teacher Yahweh's live. Okay, my live session only will be until 4 p.m. Yeah. Hello, Clarissa. Hello. Right. Hi, everyone. Oh, Iguana, you're on a bus. So all of you are on the way home from school, are you? Hello, Ozil. Oh my goodness, everyone is here. Yay. Oh my god, everyone is here today. What's the occasion? Right, why is everyone ending school so early on Tuesday? I am late as always. No, Ozil, you are early. Right, today, I've just started the live session, actually. Hi, Charlene. Wow, so everyone is here today. Charlene and Clarissa, you have ended school already? Right, it's actually quite early, right? 2:44 p.m. You have a 2-hour lunch break, Ozil. Wow. And back to studying afterwards. Just should be Tuesday live, not Monday live. You are right, XNGZ. Right, today is actually Tuesday already. It feels like a Monday because yesterday was a holiday. Right. Okay, thank you for the reminder. Right, let me check the... Let me see if I can change this. Can I change this photo to a Tuesday one? Let me see where it's at. You ended at 1:30, Charlene. Okay, wait. Give me some time to figure out how to change this from Monday to Tuesday. Okay, let me see. What is this? I might have to like restart the live session. Okay, wait. Wait, guys, give me 1 minute. Just give me... No need to change. No, Iguana, today is Tuesday, so I have to change it. To the Tuesday banner, so bear with me. I will change the banner now and restart the live as soon as possible. Yes. Hi, Dino. Hold on, guys. I'll just end it quickly and start it as soon as I can. Okay. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm back. Right, I hope you are back as well. Right, this is Tuesday. Okay, today is a Tuesday. Maybe Monday was just for April Fools, everyone. So it's just a joke, right? So today, the actual day today is a Tuesday. Okay, 1st of April. So this may be an April Fool's joke for you. Hello, Greg. Greg, who are you? Were you an ex-student or did you change? Oh, you're Gregory Victor. I see. Okay, hello. Oh, so you have changed your profile to a little puppy. What did you say, Charlene? Charlene, I said that because our previous banner was for Monday, right? The sticker was for Monday, so it's actually an April Fool's joke since today is 1st of April. Okay, I'm just kidding. But yes, thank you for joining back to the live, right? Apologies for the mishap that happened. Okay, yes. So we are actually doing 50 grammar and vocabulary question as usual, right? So for those of you who are a pro at this, right, I believe that you remember all the grammar and vocabulary rules and all the things that should be at the back of your mind, right? As well as some of the vocabulary words that we have actually gone through before. Okay, so yes, Iguana, I'm back, right? Charlene, Clarissa, hello everyone. Okay, Dino. Dino14256. Dino, do you change your username or were you are you a new student for our live session? Okay, but either ways, welcome everyone, right? So great day to be doing some grammar and vocab. Oh, Dino, you are a new student, I see. Okay, Dino, I believe that our live session definitely will help you, right? So you can try doing the questions along with us, right, as we move on progressively. So yes, thank you for joining the live. Right, so shall we start with the first question? Love your grammar closer, Shell. Oh, thank you, Gregory. Right. And thank you for answering and participating in the live session as well, because I really hope that all of you can learn something new also. Okay, so let's start with question number 1, grammar. Okay, grammar MCQ. Right. Unafraid blank snakes, Jenny stretched out her hand to touch the yellow-bellied python. Okay, so some of the practice questions that students have actually done before, but they can still make careless mistakes along the way, right? So it's always good to drill it into your mind. So the answer is of snakes. Okay, unafraid of snakes. Okay, so the correct answer is number 2. Okay, unafraid of snakes. Very good. Question number 2. Sam told his mother, "Don't worry, Mom. The holiday homework that blank assigned by the teacher will be completed before I go for the P5 camp." Okay, the holiday homework that blank assigned by the teacher. We know it's past tense. Okay, so we can cancel away number 1, right? Okay, most of your answers are option number 2. Very good. Okay, homework that was, right? Because this homework is actually uncountable. Okay? Because we can only count the amount of pages and number of papers the teacher gave as homework, number of compositions you have to write for your holiday homework, which I believe for March holidays, most of you have done or completed your homeworks, right? Okay, so for question number 3, okay, Charlene, is the answer 2 or 3? Okay, blank leaving the house early. Kenny arrived late for the concert. Hi, Starlight Whisper. Hi, hello everyone. Right. Wow, it's actually quite early today, right? Seems like most of you are actually online at this timing. It's great. Great to see all of you. 2 was your question 2 answer, Charlene, I see. Okay, so the answer for this question is despite leaving the house early, right? Despite leaving the house early, Kenny arrived late for the concert, right? Because he expected to arrive early. When he left early, he still arrived late. Therefore, we have this contrast, which is why we use despite. Okay, so let's move on to question number 4. Okay, very fast. The cashier will ask you to complete a form. Blank, you change your mind and ask for a refund for your purchase. Okay, I am looking for a word that replaces the word if you change your mind. Okay, if you change your mind. Okay, Starlight Whisper says should. Okay, so actually this question is a very commonly tested question, right? They like to test students on changing the word if to should. Okay, so this is a more formal way to say if, right? Should you change your mind? Should you need any more help from me? Please feel free to WhatsApp, right? So these are the basic question types that you can identify in these MCQ questions. Okay, question number 5. Dion always hands in her work on time. Blank she. Okay, so we know this is question tag. Okay, question tag, I repeat, always hand in her work on time, positive or negative? Okay, this is positive, right? Positive. So I have to make it negative over here, right? So she always hand in her work on time, blank she. Doesn't she? Okay. So always hand in means that she always do hand in. Okay, because she's doing the action, right? Therefore, the answer will be number 4, doesn't she? Okay, very good. Very speedy today. Right, question 6. Can you tell me how you went to Universal Studios and with blank, please? Mother questioned. What time the live end? As in iguana, as in this live session, or do you mean the whole day live session? Okay, iguana, you can refer to the schedule. Oh, or maybe the schedule is not out yet. 22344 is the answer. Yes, this live session will end at 4 p.m. Okay, question 6. Can you tell me how you went to Universal Studios and with blank, please? With whom? Okay, with whom? Very good. Okay, with whom? So, who do you go to Universal Studios with? Right, so this is the answer. Question number 7. When it comes to blank, no one is better than Jamie. Okay, when it comes to doing this action, right? Okay, this is an action. Okay, when it comes to baking. Yes, okay, baking. Okay, when it comes to baking, right? So, why do we use baking? Right, so this is actually gerund. This is actually a gerund. Okay, so to recap, what is a gerund? Right, it's a verb form which functions as a noun, right, that ends with ing. So in this case, this baking activity is actually considered as a noun, even though it's in a verb form, right? So there is a difference between the gerund and a normal verb form of this word itself, right? So there's many actions that are categorized, like maybe performing a sport, right? Performing can also be a gerund. Okay, so these are some examples that you may encounter in exams. Okay, question 8. Having blank her mother mix the dough, Sally switched on the oven to heat it up. Okay, she switched on the oven to heat it up, right? So for question number 8, what is the answer? Right. Okay, she is done with this action already. She proceeds to do this action, right? So this is already in past tense. Therefore, the answer can only be number 3. Okay, having helped her mother mix the dough. Joe, do you know PSB Academy School? X and GZ, do you go to that school? Okay, question number 9. Neither the boys nor their mother blank keen to go to the theme park during the upcoming holidays. Okay, so neither the boys nor their mother. Okay, for this question, I always repeat that we only look at the second subject. Okay, second subject. Therefore, right, the blank over here only refers to the mother. Okay, neither the boys nor their mother. Right, neither the boys nor their mother. Question number 9. Okay, upcoming holidays. This is present tense. Okay, since it's the mother, right, the mother is one person. One person translates to it being singular. Okay, singular, one person. Therefore, the answer will then be option number. Is it 3 or is it 2 or is it 1 or is it 4? Okay, Gregory and Starlight for question 9. Because you can't get into higher intake, you have to go to alternative school PSB Academy. Okay, X and GZ, so you are studying in PSB Academy now, right? It's still great, right, that you are actually searching for alternatives, right? Every school is actually good for you. Okay, so for question number 9, neither the boys nor their mother blank keen to go to the theme park. Right, so blank keen. We look at the mother, which is the second subject. Over here, since it's the second subject, right, what is the answer? Okay, the answer is actually option number 1. Okay, is keen to go to the theme park. Because we are only looking at the mother, we don't look at the boys. Right, so therefore the answer cannot be R, because R is plural and mother is only one person. Okay, so present tense, singular, therefore the answer is number 1. Okay, question number 10. Rarely blank we find such dull-colored poisonous plants, Professor Heng declared in delight. Okay, rarely blank we find such dull-colored poisonous plants. Okay, so question number 10, what will the answer be? Okay, rarely. Okay, fine. Okay, these are in present context. Okay, present tense context. Therefore, right, therefore, rarely do we find. Okay, rarely do we find such dull-colored. Oh, you're entering in June, X and GZ. So what are you doing now during your short break? Okay, so let's progress on to our grammar close, right? Which is some of your favorite and some of your least favorite segment of English paper 2. So let's look at this. Do you know that 100,000 flights operate daily, contributing to approximately 4% of greenhouse gas produced annually? There have been year-on-year increases, and the percentage is projected to triple blank the year 2050. Okay, projected, right? Joy, is this your favorite section? X and GZ, no. My favorite section would be editing instead, because I think editing is actually quite fun to do because it comes with grammar and spelling mistakes. Okay, Starlight Whisper says E. First question. Answer is correct. Okay, projected to triple by the year 2050. Okay, tripling by the year. Okay, so by will be a preposition we use when it is because of the year that they gave us, the timeline. Therefore, by this year, by the end of this year, right, I would have been taller, maybe because you are a P6 student, right, and then you are still growing up. So maybe by the end of this year, right, you actually score full marks for your grammar. Okay, that is a goal that you set for yourself, right? So these are some of the things that you can use the word by with. Okay, if sustainable solutions blank not implemented, experts predict that this rise blank persists. Okay, sustainable solutions, this is plural form. Okay, please take note that this is plural form, right? So sustainable solutions, therefore the answer will be, very good, Gregory. Yes, this is correct. Okay, are not implemented. Are not implemented. Okay, sustainable solutions should be implemented to prevent these harmful gases from being produced too quickly. Yes, so experts predict that this rise blank persists. Okay, a prediction is just a guess, right? A prediction is not confirmed, right? So it's just an estimate of what is going to happen. Therefore, the answer for this case cannot be very certain. Okay, therefore the answer is J. Yes, okay, the answer is actually may persist, right? It is a probability, right? A possibility or a probability would be a good way to replace this phrase over here, right? So, Ines Fitzgerald. Okay, yes, I think this is the name of the person, right? A UK runner declined participating in an Australian race due to environmental concerns. Blank instead, she embarked on a 1,600 kilometers train journey, blank England to Italy. Okay, so let's look at the 14th question, blank instead, right? So we see instead, this is usually paired up with a contrasting word that we use, which is not contrasting, a linking word, yes, So, and instead, yes, okay, and instead, right? She embarked on this journey, blank England to Italy, okay? Blank this place to this place. We know what preposition we have to use, right? So, it's a giveaway question, I would say. Yes. From England to Italy. Very good, Axel. Very good, Gregory and Starlight Whisper. Okay, question 16. Her choice to do so brings attention to the environmental impact caused by flights despite ongoing global efforts. Hello, Axel. Blank reduce emissions. Okay, global efforts, right? They are trying, right? They are trying to do this. Okay, global efforts, blank reduce emissions. So what will the answer for this be? Yes, N is correct. Okay, to reduce emissions. While airlines seek eco-friendly solutions, yes, eco-friendly solutions, finding blank most suitable solution remains challenging. Okay, so there would be a conflict between a and the for this question, right? However, because of this word most, right, this is a very, very important thing to take note of. Because of most, we are referring to one specific solution. Okay, one specific solution. Therefore, the answer cannot be a, it has to be the. Okay, the most suitable solution. Yes. Okay, so Gregory and Starlight Whisper, that's correct. Right, so question 18. Remains challenging as our planet blank limited resources. Okay, our planet blank limited resources, right? What would the answer be? Has, yes. Okay, so why is it has and why is it not have? Because it's very simple. This planet is singular. Okay, this planet is singular. Okay, let me write it properly. Okay, let me just write singular. So because this planet is singular, therefore the answer is has. Instead of because of either or neither nor. Okay, X and GZ, you are giving all the examples of conjunctions. Thank you for listing it out. Right? Hello, Amarilis. Okay, thank you for the follow. Yes, our planet is singular, so has. Very good, Axel. Okay, so when planning your next trip, blank family or friends, experts suggest using trains, buses, or bicycles. So when you travel, do you usually take the public transport in the country? Right, I believe that most people when they travel to Japan, Korea, right, they like to take the subway or the public transport like Singapore's MRT, right? Because it's really, really convenient and cheaper compared to taking maybe private vehicles like taxi overseas. Okay, so for question 19, the answer is when traveling with friends. Okay, when traveling with people. Okay, you travel together with them, right? You don't travel by them, you don't travel among them. Okay, even though they sound correct sometimes, they may be in the options, you don't travel on them. Okay, that is actually quite concerning if you are traveling on people. Hi Ozil, you are back. Hello. Question 40. Blank alternatives reduce the impact of air travel on the environment. We are referring to the alternatives, right? Pointing at these alternatives specifically. Okay, these alternatives. So the answer has to be only L that is possible. Okay, these alternatives reduce the impact of air travel on the environment. Opting for eco-friendly choices help to reduce our environmental impact, supporting conservation efforts positively. Yes. Okay, so taking a quick glimpse over the whole passage once again, right? Some of you may be familiar with this and some of you may not be. So I hope all of you can manage to get this section correct in your exams, right? Or maybe just improve a little bit of your grammar, right? 1% every day. Okay, improving 1% every day would actually make it a lot in the future. Right. Last year, my family and I went to Bangkok and Thailand. We also went to Thailand. You also took BTS from airport to hotel. What is BTS? So is it the Bangkok transport system or is it Bangkok train something, right? Okay, because the BTS I know is referring to the Korean K-pop group. Yes, oh, it's their MRT. So they call MRT in Bangkok BTS. Do they refer to that in Thailand? Okay, Starlight Whisper is doing the vocab MCQ already, so let's move on, right? So question 21, the National Library has a large collection of rare books that are blank to members with paid subscriptions. Okay, paid subscriptions. So the answer for this question is number 2. Very good. Okay, all of you got it correct. Okay, accessible. Right, so you can access them if you pay for it. It's just like YouTube Premium, Spotify Premium, and all the premiums or like ad blockers, right? You can only access these things if you pay for them, or you can get free access for up to a limit of how many trial days, right? This is how companies will market their products. Okay. You can call BTS SkyTrain or metro system. Oh, I see. I think most of the countries refer to their transport as metro system, right? The train type of thing. Okay, question 22. Axel says that answer is 3. Lakeside Park has a or an blank environment suitable for anyone looking for a quiet spot to relax after a hard day's work. Okay, a or an blank environment, right? Okay, quiet spot to relax after a hard day's work. Okay, we are looking at somewhere which is quiet, okay, and I would not say that gentle is very suitable to be compared with quiet, because when it's gentle, it usually refers to like the touch or the wind, right? The gentle breeze makes the surroundings very, very nice, okay? Eternal dreams, are you okay? Why are you crying? Okay, question 22. So the answer is actually number 3. Okay, question 3. It's okay, Eternal Dreams. Right, we are only at the vocab session of our first practice. You're not very late. You can still join us for the next part. Missed so many lessons. It's okay, Eternal Dreams. Okay, so the answer for this question is tranquil environment. Right, tranquil environment. So what does lenient mean? Lenient means to be more forgiving, right? Have you ever heard of teachers saying that, oh, some teachers are actually more lenient? Okay, means that when they mark, right, they actually let you have the mark more easily compared to other teachers. Like let's say that my compre OE, my comprehension open-ended, right? I'm supposed to get 2 marks, but this very strict teacher gave me 1 mark, and the lenient teacher would just give me 2 marks. Yes, so that is what lenient means. Okay, tranquil actually means peaceful and quiet. Okay, peace and quiet. Okay, which is what we are referring to in this context. So, a tranquil environment. Okay, amiable. What does amiable mean? Right, amiable actually has the same meaning as being friendly. Okay, so this is friendly. So, I believe that Lakeside Park you can meet amiable people, but you cannot say that a park is amiable. Okay, so let's go on to question 23. Okay, question 23. Our holiday plans in Penang were blanked by the unexpected downpours and flash floods. We were at a loss on our next move. Are you a learner teacher who lenient? Do you mean lenient when it comes to marking? XNGZ, it depends. Actually, it really depends on the work of the students. But I would say that it would be a balance, right? I wouldn't be too strict or too forgiving as well, because when students know that where they go wrong in the paper, I'll make sure that they do the corrections such that they are able to learn from the mistake instead of just, oh, I actually got this just slightly wrong, I do not need to do corrections, right? So sometimes it's actually good to do your corrections and learn, so you make sure you don't make the same mistake again. Okay, so question 23. Holiday plans in Penang were blanked by the unexpected downpours and flash floods. Okay, so this means that it's actually disrupted, right? 23 answer is actually number 2. Very good. Okay, all of you got it correct. Thwarted. Right, the plans, right? Plans were actually just suddenly stopped, okay, because of this unknown thing. So it's thwarted means to be prevented. Prevented from happening. Okay, defeated. Okay, defeated means to lose, right? Feeling defeated, right? Feeling like you lost. Okay, frustrated. This means to be quite angry over something, right? When you're very frustrated over maybe your young sibling, right? Always toppling over all your things on table, something like that, right? Frustration. Okay, prevented. This is similar to, even though the meaning is similar, however, for plans, we can only say that it's thwarted. Okay, question 24, the answer from Excel says that it's 1. Okay, the packing list might not be complete. It was blank drawn up due to lack of time. Okay, this is a very big hint, lack of time. Okay, so when there's a lack of time, it means that not enough, right? Okay, when there's not enough, we have to draw it up very quickly. Therefore, the answer is hastily drawn up. Okay, hastily drawn up. Wow, Axel, who are you sharing the videos to? Is it your classmates? Right, thank you for sharing the live video, and I hope that it can help all of you. Okay, so question 25, right? We may have lost to the other school in the first round, but there's a chance we might still make it to the finals. Let's blank and stay in the game. Okay, so this case, I believe some of you have actually saw me going through this question before, right? So let's start again. So all of these have certain meanings, right, tied to the phrases. Eternal Dream says 2, pull out our socks. Not Gregory also says 2. Axel also says 2. Yes, okay, pull up our socks and stay in the game. Very good. So how about tightening your belts? What does tightening your belts mean? Okay, what does tightening your belt mean? Okay, so there's actually a certain meaning to every of the words, and I hope that you can engrave some of the idioms into your brains so that when you reach this segment of vocabulary, you are able to score very well because you can get the idiom right. So let's see, what does tighten our belts mean? Does anyone know? Okay, so let's take more time, like we look at the meanings of each of these phrases. Okay, we know that pulling up our socks is to buckle up, buck up, right? Do better. Okay, so pull up your socks means to actually improve yourself, try to improve. Okay, do better. Right, how about tightening your belts? Okay, tightening your belt. Tightening your belt means to spend less money. Cut expenditure, very good, Eternal Dreams. Right, this means to cut expenditure. Okay, expenditure. Okay, spend less. Okay, so have you ever used tightening your belts before? I believe really less chance you get to use this phrase, but it will be good if you get tested and you know that it is not tightening your belts, it's pulling up your socks. Okay, so how do we say, okay, you have to tighten your belts because maybe you are overspending this month, right? And next month you will have to go on a budget. Okay, so throw in a towel. What does throwing a towel mean? Okay, what does throw in a towel mean? Okay, throw in a towel. Okay, so actually in movies or in shows, right? When you see throw in a towel, right? It actually means to admit defeat. Give up. Very good. Exo, Starlight, and Eternal Dreams. Right? This actually means to give up. And Iguana. What time is live end again? Iguana, you can wait for the live session to end and then you will know what time it will be. Okay? So the next live session will be by Teacher Yahweh if you are looking forward to it. Okay, so let's go on to the fourth option over here. Burn a hole in our pockets. So what does this mean then? Right? It's actually quite a literal meaning. Okay, burn a hole in our pockets. This means to be... Okay. Yes, Iguana. right? Iguana, it will be around 4 p.m. Wasting money, yes, okay, spending too much at one go, right? Okay, spending too much. Okay, so maybe you can use these two together. So because you have recently burnt a hole in your pockets, right, we should start tightening our belts. Okay, so in this way, you are saying that because you have been spending too much, right, you burn a hole in your pocket from maybe buying too many luxury items, it's time to cut back on your expenditure, right? So it's actually quite good to know the meanings of these phrases so that you can put it to good use in your compositions or maybe answer them in vocab. Okay, moving on to 26. Wow, new sentence for me. Yes, eternal dreams. Okay. The word museum, we accidentally read Muslim. So funny. Oh, please do not read that during your oral exam, right? Please look at the spelling properly, right? So the Everyday Museum is a public art initiative in which artists get to bring art to the community by producing artworks that are displayed in public. There is one such project at Tanjong Pagar. By blank the artworks in this housing estate. Okay, situating. Situating. Okay, does anyone remember the answer to this question? Right, question 26. Situating. So let me write down the word over here. Situating. Okay, situating. So by situating this over here, I am putting this over here, right? So question 26, the answer is number 3. No? Oh, number 2, right? Right, everyone put number 2. Greg and Eternal Dreams put 2. Starlight put number 3. So is it 2 or 3? Question 26. Okay, the answer is actually placing, right? Situating. Okay, by placing it here. Okay, yes. Number 2. Why 2 not 3? Okay, that's a good question. Right, 3 and 2. Placing and occupying has a different meaning. Okay, placing and occupying. What does occupying mean? Okay, what does occupying mean? Occupying actually means to take up the space, right? To fill up. Okay, let me just erase this arrow. Occupying means to take up space. However, situating, right? Situating actually means to position it over there, right? It's to build something in a certain place, right? Place something at a specific location or place. Okay, at a specific place. Yes, okay. So take up space, yes. So the answer will be 2 instead of 3. Okay, because when you situate this over here. So let's say I'm situating the pen at the top right corner of the tablet, right? But I can only say that the pen is occupying space, right? It's taking out space and blocking the area over here. So there are 2 different ways of using this. Occupying yourself, okay? Not occupy your time. Okay, you occupy yourself, right? By learning new things, by learning new everyday skills and everyday grammar and vocabulary. Okay, so very good. I believe most of you have understood this, right? And Cher, I believe you understand the meaning and difference between these 2 words. Okay, I hope you do. Right, so the next question. One such artwork, Little Islands, spans 2 HDB blocks. It features a landmass surrounded by water. Cannot say occupy my time. Okay, occupying my time, it depends on how you use the word in a sentence, but it does actually, okay, you can occupy your time depending on how you use the sentence. It is still a possible way to form a sentence with occupying my time. However, I would say occupying myself will be better. Okay, so to use occupy in a sentence is basically how you use it to take up space. Something has been occupying my mind, right? Okay. But taking up space in your time actually does not really make a very good flow. Okay, so I believe there are certain ways you can use occupy your time, but I would prefer using occupying myself, right? I occupy myself by reading a book. Okay, keep myself occupied. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Spans 2 HDB block. Okay, spans. Okay, question 27. Right, the answer is, okay, spans 2 HDB blocks. Okay, this artwork spans 2 HDB blocks, so therefore the answer is number 4. Yes. Okay, extends across. Yes, extends across. Right, so it stretches. So this artwork is actually so long that it spans across these 2 HDB blocks. Okay, so these are the 2 HDB blocks, and maybe this is the artwork. Straw, artwork, some flowers. Okay, and this is the building. Okay, so this means that it spans across, right? Extends. It's so long that it spans across the 2 blocks. Okay, very good. Next question. Question 28. Amid the hustle and bustle of city life, Little Islands beckons its viewers to stay a while longer. Okay, beckons. Beckons. Okay, Little Island beckons its viewers to stay a little while longer. Question 28. What is the answer? Okay, beckons its viewers to stay a little while longer. Right, so this means, okay, stay a little while longer is actually quite a big clue for us to look at, right? The answer is actually 3, okay? Attracts the viewers to stay longer, right? So have you ever seen something that made you attracted and want to stay a little longer? I believe most of us actually did, or maybe as a child, right? When you see maybe commercials in the malls, you may be actually attracted to it. So that means that is how we use beckons. Okay, so the answer is number 3. Very good. Okay, question 29. Other visual representations of art forms include anime murals painted on a few shophouses. Okay, representations. Representations. Okay, representations. Okay, so what is representations? Question 29, the answer is actually number 2. Yes. Okay, other displays. Even though the meaning is not very directly translated into display, but we can say that it is a synonym because other visual displays of art forms include these murals. Okay, so yes, representations. Question 30. This infusion of art into the community is indeed seamlessly done. Okay, infusion. Infusion. Okay, question 30, the answer is infusion. I mean, the question is infusion, not the answer. Okay, so what would the answer be for question 30? Okay, I see 1 from Eternal Dreams, right? Infusion of art into the community, right? We are grouping them into the community. So we are adding it on, right? Yes, so the answer is actually number 1. Okay, number 1. Yes, addition. Even though when you infuse something, let's say infuse tea, right? Infuse tea, right? It means that the tea will be added into the clear water. Okay, so that is how infuse actually means. So maybe a blend of culture, right? Infusion. Okay, Eternal Dreams. What emoji is that? Oh, it's the celebration one. Yes. XNGZ, the new SIT university has connection to a mall in Punggol Coast. I see. Okay, do you live near the area? Right? Actually, it's pretty convenient for the students there then, right? They are able to actually walk to the mall directly from school. Hooray emoji, I see. Okay, hooray for getting it correct. Yes. Okay, so these are the answers for and synonyms for the vocabulary words over here. Okay, so let me leave this here for a short while, right? Okay, before we move on to the next part. Okay, grammar MCQ. Back to this. First question. First question is always our best friend. Okay, so Brian, together with his classmates, blank prepared for Mr. Goh's pop quiz yesterday. Right, we see Brian, we see together with his classmates. What do we look at? The two commas, and we know that we have to cancel this because this is additional information that distracts us. Okay, so this is what we call a distractor. Okay, this is what we call a distractor. Yes, it's redundant. Okay, it's actually extra, okay, to make you, to confuse students, right? So therefore, we only focus on Brian, one person. Okay, we only look at Brian. So, yesterday, past tense. Okay, yesterday, past tense, we can cross out 1 and 2 because 1 and 2 is present tense, right? So what would the answer for this be? Okay, so I see that Eternal Dreams Yao, not Greg, Starlight Whisper. Okay, all of you have the correct answer. Very good, very good. Means that you remember that these are additional information, right? And we have to be very careful when you do this kind of questions because some students, they speed through the paper, right? They do really, really quickly, they shade the wrong OAS answer and therefore they lose a mark. Okay, so you have to be careful of what you shade for the OAS as well. Question 2, all the students felt discouraged blank the school badminton team's loss to their rivals. Okay, discouraged blank. Oh, this is a preposition question, right? Discourage. Okay, discourage. I see most of you say by. Yes, okay, that is correct. Okay. Discouraged by the school badminton team's loss. Okay, so this is the main cause of why they were discouraged. Okay, this is the cause, or we call it the agent that makes us use the preposition by. Okay, so it cannot be from because from is usually referring to from a time or a location, right? So discouraged by the school badminton team. Wenling blanked her grandmother fortnightly as she wants to spend time with her. Okay, fortnightly means, what does fortnightly mean? Okay, wants to spend time with her, we know this is present tense. Okay, what does fortnightly mean? Every 2 weeks, yes, every 2 weeks. Okay, every 2 weeks. So, fortnightly. So she visits her grandmother fortnightly. Very good. Because Wenling is singular. Okay, one person. Therefore, the answer is 2. Very good. Okay, visits. Yes, the answer is visits. Okay, because it's present tense and it's singular. Okay, question 4. They went to the park earlier today, blank day. Okay, immediately we see this question 10,000 times already. Question tag, right? So they went to the park, positive, we have to look for the negative. Okay, they went to the park. So since it has to be negative over here, we can cross out 1 and 2 quickly. Okay, we have to cross out 1 and 2 quickly. So for question number 4, the answer is number 3. Very good. Okay, 3. Didn't they? Okay, went is the past tense of go, right? So they did go to the park earlier today, didn't they? Okay, so this is why they did do the action of going to the park. Okay, so the answer is number 3. Okay, you blank have completed assignment by now. It was due yesterday. Madam Goh cheated Jack. Okay, cheated actually means scolded. Okay, just in case any of you do not know the meaning. Right, so what is the answer for question number 5? Right, it's quite straightforward. Okay, the answer is number 4. Very good. Okay, you should have completed it by now. Right, you should have completed the assignment by now. Okay, you should have completed the assignment by now. Right, should have. Question 6. We don't have blank time to pack for the road trip. We better get started on it, exclaimed Andy's mother. Okay, we don't have blank time. Time is uncountable. Okay, uncountable. Time is uncountable, so therefore the answer is 2. Yes, we don't have much time left, right? Okay, we have to hurry up. Okay, question 7. Okay, quite good. All of you are actually getting all the questions correct so far. Right, so please speak up after blank, Mrs. Raju reminded her class. Right, she is speaking to the audience, which the audience is the class, the students in the class, right? So she's telling them directly, so pick up after yourselves. Okay, because you see the inverted commas, this means that it is a speech, a dialogue, right? So please speak up after yourselves. Okay, question 8. Blank, she spent countless hours preparing for a presentation. She still felt nervous. Okay. So, she spent countless hours preparing for her presentation. Right? It means that she is actually expecting to feel less nervous. Right? She expects better. But she still felt nervous. This means that, oh, it didn't even happen. So, though she spent countless hours. Okay, most of your answers, if not all your answers for question number 8 is correct, right? Though, although, right? Even though. Okay, so the correct answer for question number 8 is 3. Though she spent countless hours, she still felt nervous. Question 9, the committee blank members are all students organized the charity event. Okay, question 9 is a little bit tricky. Right, the committee. Okay, we are referring to the committee, which is a group of people. Right, so the group of people, committee, is it whom or is it who? Is it which? Is it whose? Right, which of these is the correct answer? Okay, the committee, who, whom, which, whose. Okay, so we have to figure it out for this question. Let's take some time to look at all your comments over here. I see a lot of number 4. Okay, number 4, number 3. Okay, oh, everything. Okay, so let me see the answers from you guys before I reveal the final answer. What's the difference between who and whom? That is a very, very good question, right? A very commonly asked question. Okay, whom versus who? So should I reveal the answer first? Okay, so the answer for this question is actually number 2, which. Okay, so why is the answer which? It is because the committee is not a person. Okay, committee is actually a group. Okay, so it's a non-human subject. Okay, whom is usually used for human subjects. Okay, humans, I would say. Right, you cannot also use whom for animals, right? The cat whom I fed, right? It doesn't make sense because the cat is not a human. It's not a person. Okay? So for the question 9, I saw someone ask, was it Yao? Yes. Yao asked what is the difference between who and whom. Okay, so let me just share with you again. Who versus whom. Okay? Who is used as the subject of a verb, right? So it replaces the word he, she, or they. Okay? Example, who is doing the homework? He is doing the homework. Okay? So this case, who will be just a subject to replace the person, right? Okay, and whom. Whom is actually used as replacing him, her, or Actually, he, she, they also can. Okay, so it actually depends on how you phrase the sentence. And when you use whom, right, it has to be person, whom, person. Okay, so let me give you an example for this case when we use whom. So the lady whom you met yesterday was her grandmother, right? So maybe when you see the lady and you, these two people, right? They are people. Therefore, you can use whom. Okay, so if you say the dog which you met or which you saw just now, okay, it cannot be whom because the dog is not a human. It's not a person, right? So therefore, when we use these words over here, right? The lady you met yesterday, whom is your grandmother, will be wrong. Okay? The lady you met yesterday is... Wait, this is actually quite confusing, X and GZ. Right? Because in this sentence, the context should be who. Hi Iguana, welcome back. Right, we are actually going through the definition between who and whom. Okay, so great to have you back. Right, so let's look at the next question. Okay, so the twins blank to represent the nation in football since primary 5. Since primary 5 means it is present perfect continuous. Okay, present perfect continuous. Okay, this means that it started in primary 5, it's continuing even until now, and even tomorrow the twins will still be practicing. Okay, so the answer for this question is have been training. Very good. Okay, because the twins plural, right, 2 people. Right, I believe most of you have met classmates or schoolmates who are twins, and you can see that they always go home together, right, because they are siblings. Okay, so it would be actually quite rare for you to actually have a twin sibling, right? Or maybe some of you in the comments over here actually do have twin siblings or maybe relatives who are twins, right? Okay, so let's look at this question over here, right? We are now at grammar close. Sorry, grammar close. I am writing compo. You are writing a compo, is it really? Gracie, nah. Okay, Gracie. Just do have twin sibling. You do have twin sibling. That's quite interesting. Okay, so let's look at question 11 together. Okay, football, sometimes called soccer, is the world's most popular sport, played by millions around the world. Gregory, you have a twin? Wow. Look at how rare it is that we actually found a person with a twin in the comments down below. Right? You actually have a twin. Wow, that's actually very... Right. I believe that a lot of you actually see twins around you. It's actually quite frequent in Singapore as well. Do you have twin siblings? No, unfortunately, I do not have a twin sibling. I feel like it's always quite cool to actually have someone who is born on the same day as you, and you know, you can celebrate your birthday together, and you can go to school together, right? Maybe as a student, it's actually quite cool when I see the twin classmates, right? They come to school together, they can share the answers of their homeworks. Your friend has an identical twin. That is also very cool, right? You can actually pretend to be each other. I've actually seen some people, okay, doing that. Celebrating birthday together is chaotic. Yes, it is chaotic. Okay. Wow, interesting. I believe most of you have actually encountered eternal dreams. Why? Eternal dreams, do you actually happen to have a twin sibling as well, or someone who celebrates the same birthday as you? Okay, you'll be snatching to blow the candles, I believe. No, I'm glad so, right? Because it may seem chaotic. Really. Iguana, do you have a sibling? Wow, Iguana. How about you, Iguana? Do you have a sibling? Right? I believe a lot of students always say that, oh, my sibling always like to snatch my things. Right, so let's look at question 11, everyone. Right, we are doing grammar close. Okay, question 11. Yes, I do. Oh, I see. Right, it's actually quite fun to have siblings to play with sometimes. Right. Okay, so let's look at question 11. Okay. Question 11, it is blank game that requires skill and teamwork. We are referring to a game, right? A game. We are referring to just in general. This is actually a game. Okay, therefore the answer is A. Okay, blank the start of the match. Okay, blank the start of a match, sorry. Blank the start. So for this question, the answer is at the start of the match, right? At. The aim is to score goals, blank getting the ball into the opposing team's net. Okay? Score goals, blank getting the ball into the opposing team's net. Okay, question 13. What would the answer be? Okay? Score goals, blank getting the ball. So we have to do this action to score goals, right? So the aim is to score goals by, very good. Okay, by getting the ball. Very good, everyone. Answer is correct. By. Yes. Okay, question 14. However, there are players' blank role is to defend the goal. Okay? There are players' blank role is to defend the goal to prevent opponents from scoring. Okay, players and then the role over here. Right? Iguana, very good. Very fast answer. Right? So, players whose role. Okay? Whose role. Okay, so the answer is actually whose role. Okay, player whose role. Okay, so for those of you who say that players that role, right? For M, it may come into context later on in the passage, right? But because of we are referring to the role that belongs to the player, therefore we use this whose instead of that, right? Iguana is not sad. Iguana, it is actually good that this is a chance for you to learn something new today, right? Don't be sad when you get a question wrong. Okay, you should actually be happy and you should challenge yourself not to make the same mistake the next time you do this question. Okay, that should be the mindset that you should have. Okay, so don't be worried if you didn't score well this time because next time you are going to do better. Right? Question 15. Players primarily use their feet to move the ball. Blank, they can also use their heads or torsos. Okay? Blank, they can also. Okay, they usually use the feet. Okay, there is an exception. So the answer for this case will be but. Okay, very good, Eternal Dreams. The capitalizing of your words help to emphasize that you are very confident in your answer. Okay, but they can also use their heads or torsos. We are showing a contrast because usually it's a feet. Why can we use our head and torsos, right? Therefore, the answer will be but, to show the contrast between the feet and these two organs. Okay, it's not organs, sorry, body parts. Coaches strategize and focus on blank players' strengths. Okay, players. This apostrophe S plays a very big role in providing us a hint to the answer of question 16. Right? Question 16, the answer is G. Very, very good. Okay, each player's strengths. Okay, individual, each and every player, right? So when you are referring to one person, right, we usually put the apostrophe S. What is torso? Very good. Okay, what is your torso? Does anyone know what torso means? Right, torso means their chest, right? Okay, so let's see, like the body, the main body, I would say, your torso. The upper body, yes, iguana, right? So usually the torso is upper body without your arms, right? Excluding your arms. Because soccer, you cannot touch the ball with your arms other than the goalkeeper. Okay, so torsos, when some of you watch football matches, right? You see the football players, they actually collect not collect, but receive the ball. Yes, they receive the ball with the chest. Okay, then they let the ball, maybe they hit the ball off to another player. Right. Me, I do. Iguana, you do that? Wow. So Iguana is a football player. Very good. I remember, oh, you watch. I see. I remember one of the students over here, the viewers, is a football player. I think it's Ozil. Ozil is a football player. It's the upper body. Yes, XNGZ, so torso is the upper body. Right? So they often make player substitutions during the game to bring fresh energy and tactics blank the field. Okay, bringing something blank the field. Right? Okay, bring something blank the field. Okay, question 17. The answer can only be one. Yes, onto the field. Very good. Okay, onto the field. Okay, onto. Okay, moving on to the next question. Right, the sport is governed by the International Football Association Board. Blank made a set of rules known as the laws of the game. Well, that was easy. Very good, Whaley. Right, I'm glad you got it correct. Okay, question 18. Blank made a set of rules. Okay, we are referring to this Football Association Board. Okay, so is this a person? Question 18, right? This is testing us on a question that we did previously as well. Right, is this a person? Question 18, is it a person? Okay, no, it's not a person. This board, right, is an association that consists of people and members in this. Right, therefore we have to use which because we are not referring to a person. Okay, so we have to use which that refers to a non-human thing, right? It's a group or an entity. Okay, therefore the answer is P. Question 19. Blank rules ensure fair play and safety for all players. We are referring to rules, right? So the set of specific rules that we are referring to. Therefore the answer is, okay, what would the answer be for question 19? Okay, and very good. Okay, those rules, right? We're referring to those rules that this International Football Association board set. Okay, and football is not blank a sport, but also a global event. Okay, so this is our favorite correlative conjunctions. Not only, but also. Okay, therefore the answer for this can only be J. Okay, not only, but also. Okay, every time you see this in synthesis and transformations, right? So it actually applies to grammar clause as well. So if you see not blank or else, they will give football is not only a sport, but blank a global event. And maybe in the options, there will be the word also. So that is when you know that these two phrases always come together, right? So take note that not only, okay, but also. Okay, not only, but also. They are actually used together. Okay, so this is the end of the grammar clause segment for this part. Let's leave this page here for a short while before we continue. Hello. Hello, how do I pronounce your name? Ng Hong Yi. Okay, can I, maybe Hong Yi? Yes? Oh, Excel. Are you Excel? Right, is this Excel site account? You are still Excel, I see, but this is your full name. Wow. Okay, so yes, we are done with grammar clause, right? We'll be proceeding to vocabulary MCQ for the last 10 minutes of our live session today. Right, so let's go on to the next part over here. Okay, vocab MCQ and vocab clause. Okay, question 21. Question 21. Mr. Mohan was not wealthy, but he found blank in spending quality time with his family, which mattered more than material things. Okay, so question 21. Sure, are you tired? I'm fine, XNGZ, I'm fine. Okay, so but he found blank in spending quality time. Thank you for asking though, XMGZ, right? So for those of you who feel tired, right, while doing the live session, feel free to take a short break, right? Because looking at a screen for a long period of time can also be quite straining for your eyes, right? So if you all feel tired, just feel free to take a short break and stuff, right? When you study, it's also good to take breaks to help you become more productive when you do practice papers. Okay, so look at this. Mr. Mohan was not wealthy, but he found blank in spending quality time with his family. Okay, found blank. I see a lot of threes. Okay, 3. Contentment. Okay, he found contentment. So contentment actually means to be satisfied. Okay, satisfied. Good idea, Cher. Really, what do you mean by the good idea? Do you mean that taking a break is a good idea? Yes, okay. But your break shouldn't be like 5 hours long, okay? When I say taking a break, it can be a short, maybe 15 to 30-minute break, right? Then you go back to doing your homework. Okay, not take a 5-hour break and then you come back to do your work for 5 minutes and you continue to do your work for 5 hours again. Right, 5 to 10 minutes, yes, okay? So, looking at this, contentment means satisfied. Hi, Ryan. Oh, your PSLE was last year. Wow, so that means that you are in secondary school now. Okay, hello everyone. Hi, David. Okay, so yes, right. Question 2. Gwen protested blank after being accused of stealing her sister's pocket money. Right, accused. So she has to protest really something, right? So we are looking at this. Oh, it's pronounced as Ryan, I see. But it's a very interesting spelling for Ryan, right? Okay, sorry for mispronouncing your name. Okay, so 5 hours of break before you sleep should be at night. Okay, 5 hours of break should usually be for a very long power nap, I feel. Right, if you want to take a short nap, right, usually it's recommended to do it within 1 hour. Right, a power nap can help you function better and actually study better if you feel really, really tired from school or the day itself. Right, but if you sleep for too long, it will be very hard for you to fall asleep at night. So it's not recommended for you to do it. Okay, so Gregory, Whaley, Eternal Dreams, and Ryan says that the answer is 2, indignantly. Right, question 22, that is correct, okay? Indignantly. Okay, Gwen protested indignantly. Okay, indignantly. Okay, so the answer for this is number 2. Okay, question 23. The once Gwen mentioned now stands blank after years of disrepair and neglect. Okay, Whaley says that the answer is number 3. Okay. Okay, years of disrepair and neglect. This is a big hint for the word that we are looking for, right? So there is one word that actually represents the meaning of long time of not repairing and maintaining the building, right? Question 23, the answer is number 3. Very good. Okay, most of you know the answer. Dilapidated. Okay, pristine condition, right? When something is in pristine condition, it still means that it's very new, right? So let's say that it's in perfect condition, right? Stored in the original condition. That is when we use to describe something. Okay, so perfect. Okay, perfect condition. Haunted, we all know what haunted means, right? Haunted is very scary. Okay, so when something is haunted, it means that it's maybe taken over by something. Okay, picturesque means there is a very beautiful scenery. Okay, beautiful. Wow, eternal dreams, backed away. I believe that means for the phrasal verb question over here, right? Phrasal verb question 24. Okay, upon seeing a black dog menacingly approach her, Julie cautiously blanked. Okay, Julie cautiously backed away. Okay, why is it not backed up, backed out, backed away, backed down? Why do we choose number 3? Because these phrasal verbs have specific meanings to each and every of the words that they have a link to, right? So backing away means to move backwards. Okay, move back. However, backed up, right? Okay, back out is to bail, right? Back out of a competition. Okay, to bail, yes. Okay, backing out of competition means to exit, right? I backed out of the group excursion, right? I didn't want to go, I didn't want to join. Okay, backed up means I backed my friend up when she was engaging in an argument with the other group of friends, right? Backing someone up. Okay, back down is not to step up. Okay, eternal dreams, that is actually correct technically. Okay, back up is when telling a story. Starlight Whisper, would you like to elaborate a bit on that? 5k likes, wow, Iguana, have you all been actually liking the live? I didn't even notice that there's 5k likes. Okay, thank you everyone. Right, okay, don't need to stress your fingers by tapping the screen too much also. Okay, so yes, thank you for the likes, right? Please take a break if necessary. Right, backed up. Okay, so backed up can also be I backed my pictures up into the computer, right? So sometimes your parents may do that, right, when they are changing phones or devices. Okay, never back down, never what? Right, a very commonly used phrase among students as well. Okay, so never back down, never what? So it means that you shouldn't back down, you shouldn't give up. Okay, backing down means that you actually going to move, give in, concede, defeat, surrender. Okay, so let's go into question 25 now. Okay, Nick was awestruck and felt like blank after relocating from his tiny village to the bustling city. Okay, this is a question that some of us have actually done before together with us in the live session over here. Okay, Gracie, yes, never back down, never what. Okay, this is a strong mindset you should have, right? Whenever you feel like you are almost going to admit defeat, right? When you are on the last page of your homework, you have to push on. Remind yourself to never give up, okay? Question 25. Okay, question 25. Nick was awestruck and felt like blank. Okay. So 5. What is option number 5, Iguana? Can I know? Or maybe I'm just I cannot see the option number 5 in the question over here. Idioms. Okay. Really, idioms are not spelled in this way, right? Idioms is spelled in another way. So these are idioms. Okay, so a fish out of water. What does a fish out of water mean? The option is dilulu. Okay, Iguana. Right. What is the meaning of a fish out of water? Okay, actually this is not an idiom, I would say, because we are completely we are saying that this person is described, right, like a fish out of water. Therefore the answer I would say that it's more like a metaphor. Okay, so for the differences between idioms, metaphors, and maybe similes, right, you can actually think of it. Eternal dreams, that is a bit dark. Okay, Yao says out of place. Okay, so fish out of water, yes, very good, Yao. Right, that is actually correct. Fish out of water actually means to be in an unsuitable environment. Okay, unsuitable environment. Okay, so yes, feeling out of place because you move to another place, a completely new surrounding, right? It's like migrating to another country alone. Okay, so fish out of water. Okay, what does bull in a china shop mean? Okay, so sometimes this actually means quite in a literal manner, right? Red bull. Okay, bull in a china shop means very clumsy. Wow, Excel. Right, so yes, right, technically that is also almost correct because bull in a china shop is a metaphor to describe someone who is very clumsy. Why so? Okay, in a China shop, what do you see? What color do you see? Right, in a China shop, you see the color red. Okay, and you know that for a lot of things, when you see that, oh, the bull, right, they charge towards red cloths, right? I'm not sure if some of you have actually seen clips or maybe heard stories before, right? But in the past, right, when they do bull racing and everything, they like to put a red cloth. They have to put a red cloth to make the bull charge towards them, right? So that is the bull in the China shop. It means very clumsy. A bear with a sore head, what does this mean? Okay, a bear with a sore head, right? What does bear with a sore head mean? Okay, bear with a sore head actually means to be very, very bad mood. Okay, so sometimes the bear have headache. Yes, eternal dreams, the bear have headache. So when the bear have headache, it means that it is very irritable, right? Bad-tempered. Yes. Okay, elephant in the room. Yes. Usually we say let's address, right? Address the elephant in the room. Okay, address the elephant in the room. What does this mean actually? Right, this is a very commonly used phrase, so I hope that all of you can remember what elephant in the room actually means. Okay, so this means a major problem. Okay, elephant in the room means a big problem that you have been avoiding to talk about. The one big guy in the room, okay, eternal dreams, close enough, right? It means a big problem that you are avoiding to talk about. Let's say there is an elephant standing in your room right now, and you are still talking to your friend or your mother casually without caring about how there's an elephant in your room, right? So that means that, okay, we are talking about something else, right? We have to address the main problem, the major problem. So let me give you an example of how we can use elephant in the room, right? So let's address the elephant in the room right now, right? We move on to talking about how you scored 1 upon 10 for your spelling last week. Okay, so that is what it means. Okay, so addressing the major problem when you are trying to talk about something else and distract the person. You can use it literally. Okay. Bye-bye, Whaley. Squashed. Yes, literally squashed. Right, because the major problem can also mean that it's a lot. Iguana? What is going on? Like in a pickle. Oh, do you mean a bottle of pickle where everyone is crammed together? Packed like sardines. Okay, yes, and this is the last question for the live session today, right? So, yes, thank you all for joining the live sessions and discussing all the meanings of the words together today, right? Yes, okay. I will see you all very soon. Yes, bye Iguana. Thank you for joining the live even though you're on the bus just now. Thank you Starlight Whisper. Thank you Eternal Dreams, right? Yes, thank you. Thank you XNGZ. Bye-bye Gracie. Thank you. Che don't know me. Eternal Dreams. Well, what do you mean by I don't know you? When is the next live session? You mean my next live session? I have a live session on Thursday. Okay. So after this live session will be another live host taking over. It will be another teacher that will be going through a paper. Okay, I am teacher Rin. Oh, Eternal Dreams, you know me. Oh my goodness, are you someone who changed your profile picture and your username? Cockroach and nose. What is that? 5:30 to 7. Thank you XNGZ for listing out the timings. Eternal Dreams. This is a very challenging. Twilight Stars. What is? Oh no, I have to guess it in the next live session, I guess. Okay, I'll see you all soon. Okay. Thank you, Yao. Yes, thank you, Yao, for answering all the questions as well. Bye-bye, Gregory. Yes, thank you, Gregory, for joining as well. Okay. Thanks, Axel. Bye-bye, Axel. Thank you for joining with a lot of your accounts. What, Princess Sophia? Okay. Sorry, Eternal Dreams. I will talk to you next live session. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.